with, does a second channel boost your rankings? It's a really great question to ask, especially since we just finished talking about Mr. Beast and all of his different channels. And I've got a theory on this. I haven't actually seen any YouTuber or any YouTube experts actually create a lot of educational content on this subject yet, but I see something's percolating right now, because success leaves clues. And when you see people like Mr. Beast, or Graham Stephan, who has 5 YouTube channels, or Evan Carmichael, who has, I've lost track. I think Evan Carmichael's got like 12 or 15 YouTube channels right now. And there's clearly a reason why all of these successful YouTubers are rolling out different YouTube channels. And there's reasons behind this, because your viewers are going to want to consume certain kinds of content, and they're not going to want to consume certain kinds of content. So if you already have a successful YouTube channel or a quickly growing YouTube channel, it doesn't necessarily mean that you want to start adding a bit of this and a bit of that, like a bunch of reaction videos or a podcast or what have you. It might actually mean that if you create a web of YouTube channels that are all, they're all you. So that's the common denominator across all the various different YouTube channels. But ultimately, it's all about adding content that your subscriber has subscribed for. The cardinal rule in YouTube marketing is never upload a video that your subscribers didn't subscribe for, because now you've given them a reason to unsubscribe. And assuming that you've grown on YouTube the right way, following best practices, and you're not attracting a less than ideal viewer, and those subscribers are rich, they're the perfect kind of subscriber for you, then you're going to want to experiment. There's going to be times to split test some different kinds of content and see how it performs. And if it doesn't perform well, it doesn't mean that you can't make that kind of content. It might just mean that you should spin up a second or third or fourth YouTube channel and put that format, that very, very different kind of format that you just want to test out. Maybe it's time for you to put that on a brand new YouTube channel. Or perhaps you don't want to mess with the YouTube AI too much. So you might want to spin up a brand new YouTube channel to do that kind of experimentation, because you don't want to mess with a good thing. You know, the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there's lots of people out there that have multiple YouTube channels. And do they know something that we don't? There's clearly a reason why that we would argue that it would make sense for you to spin up a new YouTube channel. So what do you think about that?
I think it has something to do with the algorithm. I remember noticing, and this is why we brought this up, is like I noticed this a while ago, and I was wondered about this, and I was asking Andrew about this. So about a year ago, I was really into playing Call of Duty Warzone. And somehow a video came up, and it was from Nick Merckx, but it was from Nick Merckx had just started a second channel. And I had never heard of Nick Merckx before, and it was called More Nick Merckx. And I saw that video. It was the very first one he put out. It was a cool video, right? It was like a bunch of clips from playing Warzone. Then I discovered Nick Merckx, and he just became my favorite Call of Duty Warzone YouTuber, right? And I just saw his growth from his channel. I forget where he was at. I want to be able to say what it was. I can't remember where. I feel like he was under 1 million subscribers at this time. I could be wrong about this. I just checked. He's at 4 million right now. But I remember just watching his growth just go nuts. And he was even talking about it in his videos, that he's like, oh, welcome to all the new subscribers, because there's a lot of people who found him. I think something happens in the algorithm when you have a second channel. I think one is maybe if you're uploading at a certain frequency and then you want to have even more videos, maybe that's the time you make a second channel. I don't know what it is. I'm very curious to know about this. I do know when Mr. Beast is making other channels, he's also going for other types of content. So he has like his reaction stuff, and he has Mr. Beast Philanthropy channel. He has Mr. Beast Gaming, where he's playing Minecraft, and he's got his main channel. But then he also did a bunch that were in different languages. So obviously that would make sense to have different channels for that. But yeah, I'm very curious what it does in the algorithm, and at what point you should make a second channel and start creating content specifically for that second channel. I'm curious if there's any data out there, or if anybody knows about this.